Good evening. We'll call the meeting to order and happy Thanksgiving
Happy Thanksgiving.
to all our viewers and everyone here from myself and Superintendent Dr. Durrell and the whole entire school committee, and hopefully have a joyous holiday and a successful 2026. With that, Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Here.
Please remote. Yep.
Attorney Murphy,
Present.
Mr. Collins,
Here.
Ms. Gresham,
Present.
Ms. Hurst,
Present.
Ms. Rono Naylor, Mayor Sarno.
President, we all please rise for a moment of silence on the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, we'll move now with informational discussion items, and this is it's the superintendent, Dr. Denault presentation supporting the data for the superintendent evaluation 2024-2025, and I will turn it over to Superintendent Dr. Denault, please.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
And can't think of a better way to spend the Monday before Thanksgiving. Please make sure you help yourself to the refreshments. Councilwoman Hurst made a quote unquote suggestion. A little bit more than just a suggestion, but.
Thank you. It's very well, much appreciated.
Well, as you know, we are here for my evaluation. This is my first time ever having a public evaluation. So I thank my team for guiding me through the process, and I'm going to ask them to switch to the PowerPoint so you all can see. Thank you, IT man. So we're just going to walk through the PowerPoint presentation. I'm just going to give us, oh, I thought it was plugged in. Oh, I didn't know I needed that power. Thank you so much. Fully charged. Moving. There we go. Good. So thanks so much for giving me an opportunity to share with you what my team and I have been able to accomplish during my first year as superintendent of the best school district in the state of Massachusetts, none other than Springfield Public Schools. It is indeed an aspirational statement because we do have room to grow, but nevertheless, I believe it with all my heart that we will most definitely have the data one day soon to match that aspirational declaration. I'm going to walk us through what the evening is going to look like. I promise not to keep you more than 3 or 4, maybe 5 hours. We hope that it won't take that long. If you can join me in just taking a quick look at your binder, and the cover definitely has significance to it. Our beautiful and capable children grace the cover of this very thick binder, but it is all about that. Everything from cover to cover just accentuates the work that we've been doing with each one of these children at the center. Then I'm going to walk us through our PowerPoint presentation that will highlight the data and my goals. And then further back into each standard, we definitely will point out some of the artifacts, but not all of them. You will be able to look through these at your leisure. And then I would like to address the item in the very back of the book, which is my 100-day report. My 100-day report also has a cover that is significant to the joy that I've been experiencing as a first-year superintendent. Has not been easy, been full of ups and downs, but mostly ups, very few downs, and the children have made it so very much enjoyable. If you're ready to go through it with me, any questions?
Well, thank you.
Okay, awesome. Let's get started.
Anybody have questions?
So as you know, I have 3 student learning goals and 3 district improvement goals, as well as 2 professional practice goals. And I want us to go ahead and get started with the stars of this presentation, our students. So with our student learning goals, you can see from your binder that we wanted to increase the district's average composite scale score on the MCAS 2025 for grades 3 through 8 in ELA, math, and science as compared to our MCAS 2024 results. I thank my data team for culling this data and showing us that our metrics most definitely have achieved the goal. I recognize that that's slight growth, but we appreciate the fact that it's trending in the right direction. And like I said before, there is an urgency for room for growth. As I looked at the trend data, I did notice that we're performing consistently in this band, in this area. And so I was on the phone with the commissioner today, and he and I are brainstorming around things that we can do to really hasten the growth, the student learning growth in this particular area. Second student learning goal, increase the percent of students making progress towards attaining English language proficiency as measured by access. As you can see, we made a 2.4 percentage point increase for grades 1 through 8, 7.6% increase grades 9 through 12, and overall 4.2 percentage point increase for grades 1 through 12 in the district. We definitely appreciate all the hard work of our ML team, and we recognize the fact that our students are making notable growth towards proficiency in English language. Student learning goal number 3 is to increase the average student growth percentile on the MCAS for ELA and math grades 3 through 8 as compared to our MCAS scores. And there is a little note here that definitely I should have mentioned prior. All of the previous slides and data that was shared, they do not include our friends in Springfield Empowerment Zone. So this data is clearly just for the schools that are managed by Springfield Public Schools. So as you can see here, ELA did have a slight decrease of 0.1 percentage points, and math did have an increase of 2.4 percentage points. I'm not keeping up with my clicker. I'm gonna get better at that. Any questions about our student learning goals?
I do have a question.
Yes.
Sure, now.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I know that the goals for DESE are for grades 3 and 8. Just for context and especially for the viewing public who are concerned about the fact that MCAS is not a requirement anymore, to see that there was an improvement is big because that means that folks still understand the value of it. But I also would want to know for 10th grade what those numbers look like, just for knowledge sake.
Yeah, we can get that information to you for sure. I will say, however, the trend statewide is that there was a decrease in 10th grade MCAS scores throughout this year. Our affluent districts as well as our suburban and rural all experienced a decline because of the misunderstanding concerning the tool of the MCAS assessment, because the CD competency determination is still firmly in place, and they're just going to replace the MCAS with something else. So
Exactly.
there is still going to be an assessment.
Right.
Standards matter. District improvement goals. We had several indicators that support my first district improvement goal, which was to launch an attendance initiative and campaign to increase the communication with families and partners, as well as heighten awareness of the importance of attendance as it relates to academic achievement. I'm pleased to say that we did most definitely do several things that supported this district improvement goal. I'm only going to touch on a few of them. There's many there, and I don't want to take the time reading each one to you. But I did want to point out our very robust relationship with MGM. They did a phenomenal job supporting us in this campaign, and Domino's Pizza as well. We have a very generous donor from Domino's Pizza who provides incentives to students in classrooms and schools that achieve the right targets on attendance. And then we also have our Mass Mutual Center folks who made sure that they put the campaign on their marquee, as well as PVTA. So this was not isolated just to Springfield Public Schools, but we did reach out to the community at large to ensure that everyone was receiving the same message. All schools also displayed the campaign slogan, and we had a phenomenal contest. We had a contest for our students to create videos that promoted Attend Today, Achieve Tomorrow. And we had this fun and fabulous red carpet event that culminated in all of the videos, campaign videos being shown, and the winners were awarded trophies. So we had our own little Emmy/Grammy/Oscar moments here in Springfield Public Schools to honor the attendance campaign. It was a lot of fun, and we plan on doing more of the same this year because we know attendance is critical. I also want to point out that we did have magnets created, check 5, and these are magnets that can go on your refrigerator and really helping you understand the 5 top questions you need to ask yourself before you decide to stay home from school. So we're looking forward to increasing our attendance with each passing year. The next district improvement goal was to increase staff diversity. And I don't know why that, sorry about that. I don't think all that data came up. There is a data slide in your folder that's not showing up on the PowerPoint. And perhaps I have the wrong PowerPoint loaded, but we'll fix that. I wanted to point out that we made significant gains in staff diversity. You can see that we increased it by 3.7 percentage points over our 2024 number. And then staff diversity, there was a focus specifically on administrators, and we made a 7.6 percentage point increase in staff diversity for administrators. And we're really proud of those gains because we did our level best at really recruiting with diversity and equity in mind. I even sent a team to Puerto Rico to make sure that they were looking for high talent, well-rounded, diverse candidates, no matter where we needed to find them. So we are doing our best in that area, and we look forward to doing more of the same.
Ms. Hurst, please.
No, in the past, we've gotten some of the data on not just recruitment, but also like either retention or exit. So are these numbers inclusive of new hires?
Yes,
So new hires,
new hires and retained, yeah,
okay.
but mostly new hires because that is an increase from the previous year. So we have several new hires.
And do we have a sense of whether or not this number is like it would be, I guess my question is, what was our exodus? Did we have a number of folks leaving?
We can check. I can definitely check.
You understand what I don't think I'm asking the question the right way.
Mhm.
I apologize. So in the past, we would look at like where we stayed sort of flat, or did we actually grow, or was
Mhm.
there a certain number that left, and then as a result, we brought in folks? Because I think that matters, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand what the question is, and I can definitely follow up with additional data from my team. But I just know with the goal statement, I just included the data that was specific to the goal.
Thank you.
Yep. Next district improvement goal had to do with fostering, increasing trust and collaboration by fostering a culture of transparency and bidirectional communication for our families, partners, and stakeholders. We launched Super Saturdays and Super Sundays, and you can see the total numbers there of the participants and the student focus groups that we held and the principal forums. We did a great deal of community-facing engagement. I looked at my calendar from July 15th to December 31st of 2024. I attended or participated in over 80 community-facing events. I just stopped counting after December. So we most definitely started to increase our presence in the community, as well as making sure that we're fielding questions from parents. What was most important to me and most telling to me is that when we started out with our Super Saturdays and Super Sundays, there were a number of complaints and issues that came to us, and I had my team follow up with each one. By the time we got to our last one in May, you could count on one hand the number of issues or concerns that were brought to our attention. And even now in this new year, at our first Super Saturday and Super Sunday, the place was packed, over 100 family members and parents and children. Not one concern, not one issue. And we're also partnering with the library to sign families up for library cards, hook up some of our family members, new arrival family members with the employment center at the library, as well as making sure we're giving out library books. So we're lifting literacy and all the district priorities, but most definitely literacy with our new arrival parents who are frequenting these sessions on a regular, consistent basis. So we're just really enjoying that time together. On to the professional practice goals. Any questions about the district improvement goals? So in July, we hit the ground running with our professional practice goals. And one was definitely to lead and develop and implement district-wide a classroom observation initiative to strengthen and enhance the quality and consistency of Tier 1, that's our core instruction. And we were looking at evidence-based pedagogy that would improve the foundations of Tier 1 instruction. As you can see, this data is simply from my first 100 days. By June of 2025, we went to over 300 classrooms. But this 164 classrooms really speaks to the work we did in the first part of the year to lay that firm foundation. And then we returned to those classrooms to look for evidence of growth. So we looked for qualitative and quantitative data to collect and see if our teachers were moving from good to great based on the feedback they received in the first visit and then the follow-up, the coaching that they received in between the follow-up visit. So we really were focused, and fortunately, because of the work that we did last year, we were able to revise and refine our tool to be much more comprehensive, and we'll be able to get some clean qualitative and quantitative data around Tier 1 instruction, which is already helping us make decisions around coaching models and strategies that will help us move student performance quicker and for all students. So, next professional practice goal is my first 100-day report. So successfully execute, synthesize, and utilize all the findings from my 100-day report, as well as the data that was included in my entry, my transition plan. And I would invite you to turn with me to the back of the binder. And I'd like to go over just a couple of key pages in my 100-day report, so that we can all be on the same page around some high leverage things that I wanted to share. I'm going to invite you to turn to page 3 when you get a chance. Just going to take a quick look at the executive summary. So taking a little closer look at the executive summary, just really wanted to emphasize the fact that this was a comprehensive, equity-driven diagnosis of the district. And we took a look at all things related to the district. And this report centered around 4 essential priorities: relationships and learning, relationships and leadership, learning and achievement, family and community empowerment, and operations and finance. And we took a look at all of the systems, and we noticed that there were some areas of strength, several areas of strength, but also we noticed that we needed some areas of improvement. We needed to take a look at some of the areas for growth. So I found that we need to transition building administrators from a focus on management and operations to instructional leadership coaching models. And they also noted there is definitely HQIM in place. High quality instructional material is in every classroom, and I applaud our academic department for ensuring that is happening. But I also noticed that there is a need for more consistent implementation and more consistent internalization and utilization of the HQIM. So we're looking to better align our professional development around the high leverage instructional strategies that would really cause it to come alive in the classroom for our students. Also notice that the qualitative and quantitative data is showing some growth, but also opportunities for moving forward in a more strategic manner. Moving on to page 17. A thorough analysis of the data from the Department of Elementary and Secondary Ed, including school and district profiles, accountability matrix, staff demographics, national and local post-secondary performance indicators. All the information from the 100 days led to the development of theories of change, which are based on the strategic district priorities essential for advancing and accelerating student achievement. All of that is to say that we came up with 4 district priorities. I came in with a hypothesis based on the data that I gathered from Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, as well as from Springfield Public Schools website. And early literacy emerged as an area that we could focus on. Middle school transformation also emerged as an area for focus. College and career readiness was also identified as well as post-secondary success. On to page 18. Each one of these has a theory of change statement. A theory of change is a little different from other statements because it has an if, then, because. So this format of if, then, because really will help us when we launch our work groups. It will help us to fully actualize and fully develop each of the strategic district priorities. Just wanted to share with you the early literacy theory of change. If students enroll in universal pre-K by age 3 and have a 95% attendance rate, then they will be reading on grade level by the end of 2nd grade because of a relentless focus on early literacy strategies, data-driven instructional strategies, and the intentional use of high-quality instructional materials. Middle school transformation, you all have heard me talk fondly of my time at Kylie Junior High. Yes, it was junior high back then, 7, 8, and 9. And that's right. That's right. I'm proud of it. It was a fabulous place. We nicknamed it the Country Club because of all the fun things that we did there. And I remember to this day, during my formative years when it mattered most, we had those hands-on experiences that really just transformed the way that we saw education. It was just a beautiful thing to attend Kylie at that time. Metal shop, wood shop, macrame, dance, home ec, sewing, cooking, fine arts, chorus. I mean, you name it, we had it.
Media Center.
That's right. I was a volunteer in the AV Center. That's right, AVA. I forgot about that.
And actually,
Mr.
I
Bruno.
love today with the kids saying.
That's right.
You know, who else was in the choir too? Maybe Larry Akers was in that.
My goodness.
Were you the Kylie Catamounts?
Yes, we were.
I was too.
You were?
I was.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what.
That's the eagle.
We had our own TV, we had our own
did.
TV station.
We did.
News, sports reports, school reports.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to volunteer in the AV closet and I was on the TV once, but I didn't follow that path.
Yeah.
So-
I'm sorry. It's funny you brought that up. But there's a lot of hands-on stuff.
Lots of hands-on stuff, and we're trying to bring that back. So with this theory of change, if we implement a comprehensive improvement strategy in our middle schools that includes high-quality, culturally relevant instructional materials, sustained professional development for teachers, strong school community partnerships, and integrated social emotional learning supports, then students will experience higher engagement, improved academic achievement, and reduced behavioral challenges because these research-based efforts address both academic rigor and the social emotional needs of students, foster trust and collaboration among stakeholders, and create equitable learning environments that mitigate systemic barriers to success. So just as we waxed philosophic and poetic about our experiences in middle school or junior high, we want our kids to do the same. On to college and career readiness. We do have a couple of data tables for college and career readiness, and there is a brief explanation for the data that you're seeing on page 20, as well as page 21. But I'd like to direct our attention to the theory of change statement on page 21 for the district strategic priority of college and career readiness. If we implement a comprehensive college and career readiness framework in our high schools that includes rigorous, culturally relevant curriculum aligned to college and career standards, early and sustained exposure to post-secondary pathways through dual enrollment, AP courses, and career technical education, personalized advising and mentoring supported by strong data systems and authentic partnerships with families, community organizations, and local employees or employers, then students will graduate with the academic skills, social and emotional competencies, and real-world experiences necessary to succeed in college, career, and life. Because these research-based strategies address systemic barriers, increase engagement and motivation, and provide equitable access to rigorous learning opportunities and supportive networks that foster persistence and success. Last but not least, page 22, post-secondary success. The data is there for us to see. 28% of our students who enroll in college from the class of 2023 return for a second year in college. We can do better. We are making gains. We'll continue to grow in this area because it will be a focus, and our theory of change statement will support that. If we implement a comprehensive post-secondary success strategy that includes work-based learning opportunities such as internships, apprenticeships, and job shadowing, integrated financial literacy and life skills curriculum, strong partnerships with local colleges, employers, and workforce development agencies, and targeted support for first generation and underserved students, then graduates will enroll in college at higher rates, persist through post-secondary programs, and secure meaningful employment aligned with their career goals. Because these research-based strategies address systemic barriers, build social capital, and provide equitable access to real-world experiences and supportive networks that foster long-term success.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Collins, please.
can we get, do you have the data available for 24, 25 for graduation rate, dropout rate for the 24, 25 school year? Because it's not included in here.
Correct. It's not included. I only included the data that was related to the goals, but we can definitely get you the data after. But I only included the data that pertains specifically to the goals. Not necessarily the data that pertains to the 100-day report. Our next steps include strategic growth plans for the district, strategic growth plans for each school, portrait of a graduate alignment, and community engagement and input on our 4 district priorities. I leave you to take a closer look at that, but I'd like to return us to our PowerPoint at this time. Are there any additional questions pertaining to the first 100 days report?
Question, Superintendent. I could know about, matter of fact, let me just, school committeeman-elect Manny, Gomez is here, school committee woman Rosa Valentin is here, and school committee woman-elect Diana Crawford here. Thank you for being in attendance.
And please keep in mind, this just pertains to the first 100 days. Data does not extend in this report beyond those first 100 days. Okay. Now we're launching into the standards. And as you know, there are 4 standards of effective administrative leadership. And in the binder, there are artifacts that support each of the standards. I won't go through all of those. I'll stick to the PowerPoint, but I most definitely can elaborate on several items as needed. And I do plan on sharing detailed information concerning several of the bullets that will be on each of the standard slides. So standard 1 pertains to instructional leadership. Standard 2, management and operations. Standard 3, family and community engagement. And standard 4, professional culture. Let's dive into standard 1. Standard 1, you can see there are several bullets and there will be several slides pertaining to the work that we've accomplished last year for standard 1. I'd like to draw your attention to the first bullet, and I believe that is slide 16. We conducted a district college fair where students participated and engaged in the college fair information that was shared by several of our partners. We had 350 students school year 2024, and school year 2024-25, we had 600 students in attendance participating in that college fair. For standard one, we also have evidence, and I'd like to direct your attention to bullet 3 on slide 16. Created digital and print materials clarifying the new CD requirements. We were trying to ensure that families understood the changes that the state required. Well, we do notice that we have to dig in a little deeper to add further clarification based on some information that wasn't necessarily shared accurately with some of our media outlets. So we will definitely be following up in a timely manner with our families. But during the 24-25 school year, by June 30th, we most definitely did that with creating the digital and print materials, and we did distribute it far and wide. Slide 16, please. The second bullet on that slide, for instructional leadership, we developed narrative frameworks that connected academic initiatives such as Read to Believe, Joyful Journeys, Your Future, Your Choice, Beyond Graduation, Staying Connected. We reinforced the instructional coherence across schools by having, I like to say, one band, one sound from Drumline, but we had one message, one district. So one message, one district. We wanted to make sure that we were all saying the same thing, delivering the same message to all of our teachers and our family members concerning the direction we were moving in. The last bullet on that slide, based on our 24-25 MCAS results, both Harris and Warner were designated by DESE as schools of recognition. And we applaud those leaders and those students and those staff members who did an excellent job and were recognized for doing so. Let's turn to slide 18, please. And I'd like to point out the last 3 bullets on that slide. We updated several manuals. One manual in particular that we were able to update was a Multilingual Learners Program manual, and it was grounded in state and federal regulations. So it provided a firm foundation for equitable student access and early academic success for our multilingual learners. We also increased advanced coursework, going from 46.4% in 23-24 school year to 50% in the 24-25 school year. And you all have heard of our FAFSA completion success, 44% in the previous year, 64% last year for the class of 2025. Slide 19. Just 2 bullet points here I'd like to point out. Third one, increase the annual criterion reference target percentage for South End Middle School. South End Middle School most definitely exhibited some really nice growth from 23% in 2024 to 61% in 2025. And we launched the Attend Today, Achieve Tomorrow attendance campaign. Just 1 bullet on the next slide, slide 20. We piloted Ignite Reading Tutoring. So we were looking for opportunities that would cause our students to accelerate in reading literacy and reading on grade level. And so we were looking for tools that were rooted and grounded in the science of reading. And we found one tool called Ignite, and it's high dosage tutoring, and it's endorsed by DESE. And we received some funding from DESE as well. And so we were able to launch that in just 4 of our schools, but the results were so promising. And again, there were initial results, really didn't have it in place long enough because we started it close to the end of last school year, but the results were promising. So we're looking to scale it in the very near future. We believe that the high dosage tutoring through Ignite Reading, as well as Amira, thank you. Thank you very much. That's why you're at the table. Amira, we definitely are looking forward to getting some increased gains around reading literacy real soon. Okay, slide 21. Still on standard 1. That first bullet on slide 21 just reinforces the fact that we are doing our best to increase those pipeline programs and support our paras and support our teachers and support everyone who wants to work here in Springfield Public Schools. And we're providing tuition assistance and programs that are costing little to nothing in order for our folks to get advanced degrees or get their initial degree. So we're really supporting through recruitment and trying to do our best to retain high quality staff by providing incentives. We did redesign the school growth plan. It was I believe it was once called the school instructional plan, the school operating plan, but most of our elementary schools are operating just fine. Several of our high schools are operating smoothly. We wanted to take a look at the opportunities of growth. So we renamed it and rebranded it as a school growth plan because we know we all have room for improvement. And we created a document that is a living, breathing document, not just a compliance-driven document, not just a one and done, and you put it on the shelf, but it's a document that principals, school-based staff members, district staff folks will take a look at to guide their work forward for the success of their schools. Any questions for standard one? Okay, hearing none, let's move on to standard two. Standard two is management and operations. And as I said for standard one, we really have an effective team at central office as well as throughout the district, providing the support to management and operations. So through leadership and through collaboration, we were able to apply for and receive several grants. One such grant is the Student Voice and Wellbeing Grant, which focuses on elevating student voice using participatory action research and youth mental health first aid and teen mental health first aid. I actually took the training and got certified as a former school counselor and as a trained licensed mental health counselor. I felt it most definitely aligned with my other calling, as well as helping me just making sure when I am in those focus groups, I still want to have a keen eye and be able to determine if our students need something more than what they're saying. Sometimes they're not as forthcoming when the superintendent's in the room, but I can hear what's not being said. So I like to stay on top of my training. So I'm glad I was able to take advantage of that training. We collaborated with human resources to develop and implement the teacher of record support protocol. Teacher of record, those are usually our paraprofessionals who are highly regarded, well-respected members of the learning community who have decided to step in and step up into a vacancy because we have a significant teacher shortage throughout the nation. Our teachers of record are willing to do the work, and we want to make sure that we're supporting them. So we developed a mentorship program, again, the tuition reimbursement, and we're wrapping our arms around our TORs with another level of support to ensure that they are moving forward and we're progress monitoring and reflecting on those services for them. Collaboratively work to balance and pass that very important FY 25 budget. You all were part of the budget hearings and the budget meetings. And as you know, we do have an award-winning budget department and finance team. And as always, they did an excellent job. Standard two, management and operations continues. Bullet number 3 on slide 23. We developed a 5-year plan for the air conditioning of all schools. We know that this was an important issue to Unit A as well as other units. Everyone wants to work in a very comfortable and clean environment. We know that air quality is important. So it's not just to keep individuals nice and cool during the summer months, but also to ensure that their health is focused on by providing conditioned, clean air for them to breathe. We developed a system and structure to maintain compliance, and we hired a compliance director, a compliance officer for our exceptional learners. We noticed that we were slipping a little bit in our area of compliance, so we wanted to make sure that we are in full compliance, because when we're in compliance, that means our students are getting the services that they need. So we made that a focus. And the good news is we expanded mock trials and mock appeals. We have several students who are very excited about engaging in those activities. Some of them, the lawyer inside of them that was fast asleep woke up during those mock trials and mock appeals, and they are really enjoying those opportunities. And we're glad that we are expanding that and really looking to make that throughout our entire district. Continuing on to the next slide.
On this question.
I have a quick question. Teachers of record, are they in elementary schools or are they district-wide?
They're throughout the district. They're throughout the district. And I will say that our HR department is doing a better and better job each year at decreasing the number of teachers of record through the pipeline program, because those TORs are going through the pipeline to get their bachelor's degree. But we're also doing a better job recruiting teachers. So for folks who are not licensed yet, we're getting more folks who are licensed and supporting that process. Rhonda Stowall Lewis, the former principal of Dorman, she's a principal on special assignment. We noticed we needed extra support for licensure. We had several teachers on waivers and we were getting a little behind. So we pulled her out, brought her here. She's cleaning up the log jam, and we're moving forward in a much more efficient way to make sure more and more of our folks get off that waiver and onto a license.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Our next slide. Slide 24. The first bullet, just want to draw your attention to that. Worked very closely to make data-informed decisions with each and every one of our principals and each and every one of our schools and each department at central office. Budget season is a little taxing, I'll be honest. This is my first go around in budget season and it went very well. But it is very time consuming and it was a very learning. I learned a lot. It was a rich learning experience. And I appreciate the fact that we were able to redirect additional funds directly to the schools. So we noticed that were some allocations that needed to be tweaked. And we wanted to make sure that we got as much money to the schools as possible. So we were able to talk it through, collaborate, look at the data, and shift some more funds to the schools. We also led cross-department content migration and accuracy checks for our website. I don't know if you all have had a chance to go through our website. It's changing and developing every day as we're adding more and more features and including more and more highlights and things of that nature. So I've gotten text messages from friends and emails from community members who are saying that they really enjoy our new website. So we're grateful that that work got done during the 24-25 school year, and we will just continue to strengthen that and develop our website. Standard 2, it continues on slide 25, and just one bullet there. We were able to secure grants through DESE with the Museum of Science in Boston for some work around HQIM at STEM Middle School. So taking a look at STEM, making sure that we are focusing on the theme of science, technology, engineering, and math. And we want to make sure that our students are definitely learning at high levels with high quality instructional material in all 4 of those areas. I believe this is our last slide for standard 2. And we were able to secure additional funds called 1-8 Foundation for Open SciEd, again, with our middle school science, making sure that we're lifting those hands-on experiences. We don't want our students in middle school just sitting and listening and receiving. We want them touching, feeling, exploring, dissecting, building. We want them doing all of those fun and engaging things, and these funds are helping us to do that. We were also able to secure some grant funds for our multilingual learners and for bilingual education. So we are very grateful that DESE has been very generous, but also that we have a grant writing team and department heads who are able to secure a great deal of funds for the betterment of our children. Moving on to standard 3, but before I go any further, are there any questions about standard 2? We're in the home stretch. I usually don't talk this long for anything. So feel free to jump in if you have any questions. Standard 3 on slide 27. The last 4 bullets, I'd really like us to take a look at because I think we did some really great work with our family and community engagement in our first year. We're just going to continue to grow and thrive in that area. Our community loves us. We love them. They come out in droves. We so appreciate their support, and we're really grateful that we're able to bridge that gap and really be in the community more often. So we completed the active shooter drills with the police department and many other community organizations. And we also did some other safety run-throughs with Stephen Smith. He provided professional development, but we also made sure that we took our community members and created a network called Amplify to Empower. And we wanted to make sure that our message got through not just Springfield Public Schools, but there is now a network of about 200 community-based organizations and partners who will also amplify our message. So when Azelle gets anything of pertinence, anything important, she's going to send it out to this network of community partners, and they reach out to their constituents and the people they support as well. So in the past, the message only came through us and maybe a few other outlets, but now it really is being amplified through a network of community organizations. Okay, and then of course, our Parent Advisory Council with our special ed team, as well as I know that we're also lifting other parent advisory councils throughout the district for this current school year, but more to come on that. Next slide for family and community engagement. The 3rd and 4th slides, we hosted an amazing display of computer science for all. It was at Bolin Elementary School. I lost count of the number of people who were there. It was literally standing room only. We just had such a phenomenal time looking at the projects that the students completed through coding. They had these little projects where an animal was like drinking and lights were flashing, and some had these little video games they created, and it was all through coding that they learned how to do, all elementary school students, through computer science for all. So the parents were thrilled, the teachers were thrilled, the principals were thrilled. It was just a great family and community engagement event that we look forward to continuing. We also implemented a caregiver request for exceptional learner supports. That means on our website, if there is a caregiver who has a student who is an exceptional learner, who has an IEP, if they feel as if there's something more that they need from us, they fill out this form and they get that support. Our team that supports our exceptional learners are always looking to be innovative and trying to stay one step ahead of the needs of all of the students. We have a great need. Our number of exceptional learners continues to increase every year. However, our team is aware of that, and they're using that data to develop new programs and supports for our families. Let's move on to slide 29, please. And that would be standard 3 again. We partnered with 72 community organizations to put on the Family Expo. Had a lot of fun. We went over to the Mass Mutual Center. 843 families and over 1,000 participants were there. We had music, we had dancing, we had food, we had laughter, but more importantly, we had the community there bringing our families the information that they need in order to support their students as they receive an education here in Springfield. We produced the SPS Spotlight and Believe It to Be It podcast, highlighting staff innovations, student success, and all things great and wonderful in Springfield Public Schools. And you will be able to, I think that's a live link. Some of you will get this electronically, but nevertheless, we can make sure that you get that link so you can explore some of the podcasts, but they are also on our website. So if you go to the website, you'll see the podcasts and things of that nature. I believe several people in this room have been interviewed. We upgraded the IEP and 504 software. We are able to translate our IEPs now for our families. We're definitely translating it into Spanish, which is huge. We've got to be able to communicate effectively with our families. And then we're looking to try to translate it in additional languages. I was told that French Creole is the next group of individuals who we really need to continue to support with translation services. But again, my director of multilingual learners who will be retiring in December has done a phenomenal job partnering with me to ensure that our new arrivals receive all the support they need. We will miss her. Any questions about Standard 3?
I don't have a question, Mr. Mayor, but I do have a comment. This is an area that's always been near and dear to my heart, dealing with the families in the community and especially with our exceptional learners. I think what you all are doing is just phenomenal. It's just breathtaking. I don't have a lot of words to say about it, but I did want to like lift that up because it's not just me, but the feedback that I receive from people, even the responses on how quickly things are being resolved or addressed. As you know, there's always going to be a complaint, but it's always good when we can see a resolve as well. And in your team and Assistant Superintendent Escribano has been phenomenal and responsive to those concerns. And so I just seeing how things have transitioned and seeing the data to speak to the engagement of the families and having thousands of people at events in the community and showing up on Saturdays and Sundays and all of that, like that's huge. It's not happening in a lot of districts. And so for it to be happening here is really something that I just wanted to name and lift for the public who are watching this, that this is really huge.
Oh, thank you so much.
I don't have more syllables to add to that word. I'm just over here just enamored with what I'm seeing. I knew about it. I know you presented in the meetings, but to see it all bulleted out here just really speaks to the intentionality, especially with the budget. There were things that you proposed in the budget and we all support it. And to see the translation of those items and now seeing how things are coming into fruition. It's just, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Vice Chair.
I do have an excellent team. I do. Last but not least, Standard 4.
Stay with the pork. Why I thought there was.
Not Thanksgiving yet.
We can make out another standard if you'd like.
Oh, don't do that on my account.
Standard 4 begins on slide 30. And we did conduct numerous trainings. And we revised several district policies and protocols. A few that we did was the code of conduct for staff. We went through that code of conduct with a fine tooth comb. And we also revamped the entire Title IX protocol. There was definitely a need for us to ensure that everyone on the district was on the same page for Title IX law, Title IX protocols, Title IX procedures. We also provided training for our student assignment services. We noticed that there were concerns with the rate in which our students were being assigned. We made a shift in leadership there, shifted it to another department, and we noticed that things were improving steadily from the end of the school year when we made the shift, even now into this new school year. So we're appreciative of those gains. We also conducted training that was led by Department of Justice, FBI, and the Hampden County Sheriff's Department to address, unfortunately, very relevant topics that we need to be aware of, grooming and trafficking. So several of all of our principals and Unit B and Unit A members, school counselors, several people went through the training. We will continue the training because it's just critical that we're able to spot these things. Unfortunately, it's a reality in our community. We want to make sure that our school community is prepared to identify and support and help right away.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask?
Yes,
Thank you. Dr.
Category 5.
But bullet 1 to bullet conducted training with SAS. Can you elaborate? What is the new Massachusetts laws governing parentage and custody?
Oh, well, they were updated, so there are some shifts towards who can get what information about kids.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. Thank you.
But we just want to stay current, make sure, yeah. So standard 4 continues on the next slide, slide 31. Professional culture continues with, we fostered in the district a culture of really focusing on literacy. And I have a nice little surprise for you all at the end of the PowerPoint that aligns with this nicely about storytelling and professional pride and just creating SPS voices and stories and purpose-driven videos that help to promote all the good things that are happening in the district. So fostering a professional culture of collegiality, fostering a professional culture of pride, fostering a professional culture of bi-directional communication. And we decrease the use of outside counsel so that our in-house counsel is taking on several of the things or matters that HR in the past would have to use outside counsel to resolve. So our internal counsel is working closely with HR to make sure those matters are resolved for in less time and with less of cost. We're saving funds by bringing it in-house. Standard 4. Oh, last 2 slides. Standard 4. Slide 32, I'd like to direct your attention to the second bullet. Working diligently to ensure that there's a smooth transition between Springfield Empowerment Zone Partnership Schools that are coming back to management under Springfield Public Schools. We have one district, but 2 management systems. And the management system for Springfield Empowerment Zone has a totally different structure. And so those schools are very familiar with that particular structure. Many of them didn't even exist in Springfield Public Schools. So we want to make sure that those schools maintain those autonomies that allow them to thrive and succeed. We have an executive director. I'm calling him executive director. He's principal on special assignments. Michael Calvanese, who's leading that work. He started the work in the 24-25 school year. He officially came to central office July 15th of 2025. But again, he started that work last year. So we wanted to name it here. And the National Post-Secondary Institute Superintendent's Academy is something that I have been participating in and aligns perfectly with our post-secondary success strategic priority for our district. Last but not least, we have standard 4. Last bullet on this slide, slide 33. We utilize qualitative data that we collected during the superintendent observational rounds to develop a data collecting tool that truly enhanced the protocol and improved the supports. So that tool was research-based. I collaborated with Assistant Superintendent Terry Poe. I took a look at 5 different research-based methodologies for classroom observations, and we combined all of that into a tool that focuses deeply on checking for understanding and grade level instruction. And so to end, are any questions about standard 4? And I think I do have a standard 5 for you, Ms. Herbert.
That's a German.
Data.
Standard 5 is a video of our children reading. These are 2 second graders who are reading on or above grade level. And we just wanted to accentuate the fact that our students are well able to meet the goals. They are high achieving, bright and brilliant, and they are well able to do all the things that we want them to do and that we're supporting them to do. I may have to call on my tech guru to give me a little support here, sir. Someone come to my rescue,
I think the rest of
please. Ooh,
Like the audio visual cart.
exactly, AVA card.
Yeah.
I love it.
All around.
I may have to, I don't know why it's not loaded, but you know what? I'll figure it out.
Maybe a screenshot. Sure.
Oh, okay. Let's see if it'll come up on this one.
So, report.
Yeah, there. Oh. Do you think it might be in the drive, in the cloud? Remember you told me to download it to see if it would, load faster?
Nailed it.
Okay, let's go to the cloud and see if it's there.
Yeah, I have all these problems in my etch sketch.
Well, Mayor, I just think how you feel. I was like.
It's coming back. Good. I get everything I need or I want.
Yeah, let's go way back.
Good. I'm good.
They still have Etch a Sketch.
I know they do, yeah. Big deal when we were kids, remember?
Exactly, I remember.
Everything's electronic.
I know. There it is.
There it is. Okay, let's see if it'll work. Good luck. Let's see.
There it is. Now that.
Okay, let's go to presentation mode. It's gonna come up in a minute.
Investigation.
Takes a minute to load.
But it's in person.
Maybe I should just go to YouTube and show it. Nope, there it is. Okay. Click to start. Okay.
They have a camera.
That's amazing. That's
You
awesome.
may have to work on the volume. Let me go back to the beginning.
Yeah, really kind of.
I don't hear the volume through that.
Can you turn it up?
There you go, yeah.
Glenwood Elementary.
Just gonna turn it up.
Got it? Ready? Okay, is that gonna go away all by itself? There we go.
That's good, that's good.
My name is Sadie and I go to Glenwood Elementary School. My name is Angelo and I go to Glenwood Elementary School. This is the Great Gracie Chase. Stop that dog. Once there was a little round dog named Gracie Rose. She was a very good dog. She helped the bigger dog watch the house. She kept the kitty company. She even sang to the fish when it was lonely. You see, Gracie loved a quiet house. She loved the kitty sleeping on the windowsill, the big dog sleeping on the couch, the quiet fish going bloop bloop. For Gracie, a quiet home was the best home. Gracie Rose was good every single day of her life, except for one. The day the painters came. Gracie did not like painters, but she didn't know until the day they came to her house. So when they arrived to paint Gracie's kitchen, she did not like it. Here they came in a big noisy truck. There they were at the door with their clangly ladders and big person voices. There they were dragging chairs across Gracie's quiet kitchen floor. Gracie Rose watched them with her ears straight up in the air, and she was not happy. She barked and told them to go outside. But do you know what? Gracie was put outside. Bet. So Gracie, that silly little dog who loved a quiet house, decided to do something naughty. Gracie decided to take a walk all by herself. Someone had left the gate open, probably a busy painter. Gracie was supposed to be a good dog and never go through that gate by herself. But she did. And when she was halfway down the street, she heard someone say loudly, "Where's Gracie?" And that began the Great Gracie Chase. Because when the people in the house came outside to find her, and the painters came outside, and the neighbors came outside, and the garbage man stepped out his truck, and the paper boy stopped his bike, the delivery woman pulled over, and everybody said, "There's Gracie!" Gracie started to run. Gracie did not know why she was running, except that suddenly everybody in the world was trying to catch her, and she did not want to be caught. So Gracie ran down the street, and everybody else ran down the street too.
Yeah, so cute.
Gracie ran up the hill, and everybody else ran up the hill. Gracie ran across the schoolyard, and everybody else ran across the schoolyard. Gracie ran through the water fountain, and everybody else ran through the water fountain. Well, except the cat, who did not like water fountains. The chase got bigger. Stop that dog! Everybody cried, which only made Gracie run faster. And soon the whole town was watching or running in the great Gracie chase. Poor little Gracie. She did not like this walk all by herself. It was too quick and too noisy, and all she wanted was to be beside her fish again. But she couldn't stop running now. Everyone wanted to catch her. So she ran and ran and ran until pretty soon the painters had to stop because they couldn't catch their breath, and the delivery woman had to stop because her feet hurt, and the paper boy had to stop because his bike broke, and someone else had to stop because she tripped and fell. And one by one by one by one, all the people had to stop because they could not keep up with Gracie. Then suddenly, Gracie realized how quiet everything was again. She looked behind her, and the whole world was quiet. People were resting. How nice, Gracie thought. So that silly little dog turned around and walked back home all by herself. The painters did not return to Gracie's house that day. They had to go take naps. And once again, Gracie had a quiet home. She was happy. That silly little dog.
Great job.
Horrible.
Good job.
Well done, well done. So as I close, I just wanted to just reflect on this poem that I heard several years ago, and I'm not even quite sure how it goes, but it talks about 100 years from now. It says 100 years from now, it's not going to matter the car that I drove or the type of house I lived in or how I dressed, but that the world might be a little better because I was important in the life of a child. This work is a moral imperative. I do it from a sincere place. These children are my life. I'm trusting that we will continue to grow up together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments? Adapted and altered.
Well done.
Yes.
Very thorough. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Dale. We'll now move to B, school committee attorney to review documents and procedures related to superintendent's evaluation for 2024-2025. Attorney Keith Ian is on Zoom, is on remote. He'll walk us through the evaluation procedure. Michelle.
Thank you.
I'm actually gonna do the presentation since I'm here.
Okay,
If that's okay.
well, that's right.
Perfect.
I mean, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Gonzalez.
yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Attorney, are you able to screen share that remote or somehow get that to me so I can follow along? Is that possible? If not, you can get it to me afterwards if it's too much of a hassle.
Think I can do all of the,
Screenshot it. It's great.
um,
Would you like to come and just, oh, you can't display it, can you? It's confidential. Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna see if I can connect, I'll just email it to you.
Okay, thank you.
If you give me 1 minute, and then, I will have a packet I can leave for you with Trini, and also, as I'll mention, I will be able to email you a copy as well.
All right, thank you.
My apologies, and then it's when you did. Told me Ian would be out.
Oh, that's okay. Hopefully that will be going through to you right now. We're waiting to see, to make sure that's received before we go through. So in your packets, there's a paper copy of what I'm going to walk through in terms of the evaluation tool. And then there was also a request made in a subcommittee to see if we could have this done electronically for anyone who wanted to fill it out electronically. So I have created this as a form as well, so I can email it to anyone who would like to have it in electronic format. You'd be able to go through and check it off and then email it back to me. So if you are interested in that, just please let me know and I can send you an electronic copy as well.
Can you please send me a
Okay.
copy?
Yes.
Likewise.
It's been received. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Attorney Murray.
Perfect. You're welcome. All right.
Otherwise, we mail this to you. We can't trust the post office.
You can mail it to me, you can scan it to me. I'm happy. The other option, and I didn't put it on this, but on an earlier schedule. If you are done before December 8th at your next school committee meeting, you can always hand deliver it to Ian as well, and he could bring it back to the office. So that's an option as well.
And if now we can scan it or.
But you could also scan it as well and email it. So included in these packets, there is an instructions sheet, which is similar to instruction sheets you have received in the past in terms of how to fill out the evaluation tool. There's a place for your name, date, and signature. Each of the goals have been loaded in here onto this sheet so that you can fill that out. Looking through the evidence and corresponding to meet to check off, the measures in terms of met, exceed, significant progress, some progress, did not meet. And then on the performance standards, they're the DESI indicators of unsatisfactory, needs improvement, developing, proficient, and exemplary. DESI has certain requirements in terms of if you give certain ratings, then you do have to provide comments. So comments are, we ask everyone to put comments in if you have them, but they are required if you give certain ratings. So if you provide rating of exemplary, needs improvement, or unsatisfactory, then you need to provide comments to support those different ratings. The same on the impact on student learning goal that is in here. If you provide a rating of high or low, then you provide comments to support those ratings as well. So otherwise, if you don't choose one of those different ratings, then you don't have to provide comments, but we are encouraged to provide comments. There's just a small box on page 4 for comments. If you need additional space and you're filling this in by hand, you can certainly attach additional sheets of paper. I would ask that if you do that, you just put your name on it. I've put an initial page at the corner of each page of the evaluation, both on the hard copy and the electronic version, so that we can keep track of everybody's pages that go with their evaluation. So I want to make sure that they're attributed to the right people. So if you attach an additional piece of paper, please just put your name or initials on them. Once they're filled out, like I said, you can either mail them back to me, scan and email them, deliver them to Ian at the next school committee meeting. You can keep them, you can put it right in this envelope and deliver it to Ian, put his name on it. And then if you would like the electronic version, you'll be able to just submit it by email electronically to me.
Mr. Collins, many of us have been through this.
Yeah.
Get a refresher for it.
Yes.
Clarification, when is it due?
So it's due December 8th. So on the instruction form, sorry.
It's bold.
We should look at the category 5.
Until we hear category.
The reading portion.
Double check, so we make sure everybody gets it in,
Okay.
before, earlier.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes,
Oh,
Mr. Neal.
Attorney Murray, you can add me to get it electronically too.
Okay.
Correct.
I made the paper, but just in
Yes,
case.
you have the option.
Right.
You're only able to submit one, but you are able to get it both ways and choose which way you end up submitting it. Yes. Okay.
They were and so animated too.
Oh, my God, the fluency, all of our grades get such.
Those were second graders, am I
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, that's like
Wow,
phenomenal.
that was incredible. I have a second grader and I was like, I want to go get that book and see if she can read it.
Does anybody have questions of Attorney Murray? Everybody understands our assignment? We don't want to get detention.
It's not good.
That is, Barbara, gonna get that. That's not good. That's good. Any other questions or comments? Thank you, everybody, for taking the time. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion to adjourn by Ms. Gresham. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Hurst. Roll call vote required. Ms. Hurst, please call the roll.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Yes.
Attorney Murphy. Yes. Mr. Collins.
I'm waiting for section 5.
I was wondering if anyone was gonna pick up on that one. Wait a minute, I'm gonna.
She's blaming you.
Standard 5.
Next year you should have a second.
Not take 5, standard 5.
You didn't say yes.
There has to be-
Ms. Gresham,
Yes.
Ms. Hurst,
Yes.
Mr. Naylor,
Yes.
Mayor Sarno.
Board of Official Votes matter passes. Everyone had a
Thank you.
great Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
And
Oh.
good health and God bless, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Nice presentation.